Thank you, everyone that's here. I know what you were prepared for was a talk that has been scheduled for, but I want you to know something. I asked the leadership if I could have permission to bring a special guest, and that was allowed. So I want you to say, thank you for letting me bring that person here, and Mom, thank you for coming. I need you up here. Come on. Say thank you to Jacqueline Lair. Those of you that don't know who my mom is she is Jacqueline Lair. Jacqueline Carey Lair. Published author for the last 25 years in Germany. Best-selling author in Germany. Best-selling author in the United States. Most people don't know this, but you're the one that wrote all my dad's books. Dad's a good speaker. He really is. Also, you don't know is my dad is Jess Lair, husband of Jackie Lair, that he died in 2000. But what I really wanted to do is my mom has busted my chops since the year 2000 because I wrote a tribute to my dad. And you said, I really want a tribute. So, you all get to experience my tribute to you. Hopefully we get to go through this without crying. I doubt it. My mom loves to put on this bold, great Irish face and say, I can handle it. But honestly, how many times have we cried together? I don't know. We've cried a lot. I want you to know, as I got ready for this, I practiced it once before at a Toastmasters group, and I got some of my faux pas out of me. So hopefully I can stay on task this time and just talk about you. My earliest honest memory is with you, singing that song that you've sung to me most of my life about the whippoorwill singing my name. I was really sick. I had the measles, and I remember you putting me in the tub trying to get that fever to break. And you were so sad, because I was a little kid. I was maybe 3, 4 years old. I don't even remember how exactly old I am, because I was so little. And I was so sick, and that water was freezing, and you stuck me in it. And I didn't want to be in there. and I remember what it felt like, because I had to put Lizzie in a tub one time when she was so sick. And that little body trying to crawl up onto my chest, and that was what I was doing to you. And you were singing that song trying to help me out. And you held me, and you held me. And the next one I remember too is when I really wanted to go spend some time with my buddies playing tag in the neighborhoods. And I was maybe 7. And it was the first time I really remember standing up to you. And I was just standing there, I was yelling at you, but I want to go play because I'm a big kid and I can do it and I can be home on time and don't let me not miss this, I want to go. And you were trying not to laugh at me. Because I was actively, I was always a good kid, man. I wanted to be with my mom. I wanted to be with you. You were so much fun. You were always a parade. And you let me go. You let me go play with the guys in the neighborhood. Because that was our last summer in Minneapolis. And I really wanted to spend the time with my buddies. But probably the one that gets me the most was the year before that, when my teacher, Mrs. Morum, was really having a hard time with me. I wasn't getting it. I wasn't learning. And you would walk with me to school and spend the time with me on that walk. Tell me that I was a smart kid. I wasn't stupid. And you'd drop me off at school. And then you would go home. And then you'd set up that appointment for me to go across the street to Mrs. Schaefer and have her teach me. Because you knew if you taught me, we'd fight. But if Mrs. Schaefer taught me, I would do it. And you always told me I was never stupid. Even when the kids in the playground would call me stupid, even when the classroom kids would laugh at me. He said, Joe, you just don't learn the way they learn. Nobody knew what ADD was then. We didn't, but you stuck by me. Even when my dad, Jess, was beating on me, and you'd tell him, just quit hitting him because you're going to kill him. Because he'd say, you're so stupid, you're so stupid. And you'd say, no, Jess, he's not. He just doesn't learn like everybody else. And you made sure not to compare me. You didn't tell me you're not as smart as your sister, so don't worry about it. You just said, you're you. You are who you are. I can't tell you what it meant that you were willing to stick with me. I know how hard it was for you. We were together when Dad had his heart attack. He was getting hauled out of the Fauché Tower in Minneapolis. And you put me in the office up there and said, just wait, Grandma will be here. And I started sucking my thumb. And Jess and Jan and Barb and the other kids were teasing me about sucking my thumb, and you just told them not to do it. Just let them be. You let me be the buck-toothed kid. And when I came to you and I said, I really wanted a girlfriend. And you said, well, you might need to quit sucking your thumb. So I could get the braces on. Because Dr. Fellows wouldn't let me get braces until I quit. So I got the braces. So I was the buck-toothed kid with braces. But you still stuck with me. And I want to say thanks. Because you knew what I could do. You encouraged me to read. And you'd bring me the books. You brought me James Michener with Hawaii, and you said, skip the first 100 pages because it's really boring. And you were right. The first 100 pages was really boring. I don't know why Michener goes all the way back to prehistoric times and brings you all the way forward. But yeah, you taught me how to read. And you made me love it. And you always bought me books. And thank you for that. Probably the hardest times were when I started doing drugs. And you knew it. Because I started to drift away. And you'd come in to the bedroom at 2, 3 in the morning when I get home. And I'd be drunk or stoned. And you'd sing me that song again. But you trusted me. You knew I'd get out of it. Didn't know how. Didn't know when. But you knew I would. And I don't know why you stuck with me. You know, it's Jeff's my brother, Mike my brother, my sister Barb. They're awesome. But you saw what was in me. And we laugh. We were laughing about that 2 nights ago when I asked you to come and just hear me speak. I said, you know, there's not much time left. And you know that, and we know that. Because you've heard me do this Dash of Life speech. You helped me build the Dash of Life speech. You know, it's going to be Jacqueline Lair, beloved wife, beloved mother. March 1st, 1930, dash. It's almost over. Because you got dementia, I'm losing you. So I'm going to stick with you like you stuck with me. Remember when you met me in the hallway, in between the kitchen and the front room at the log house, and you were beating on my chest? You were so pissed. I know you're in there, and I'm going to find you again. And I let you hit on me, and I just grabbed your hands. And I just asked if you were done. If you wanted to hit me some more. And just walked out the door. Got in my car, rolled up my marijuana cigarette, and smoked all the way into town. Because I knew I was in there too. I just didn't know how to get out. And the joke was, we know that Jackie, it was like all of us kids would say, we know Mom went to treatment just so she'd get everybody else to go to treatment. And I'm thankful you did. Because when Hal called you after my last night of drinking and drugging, and I didn't mean to try to kill myself, but you and Dad came and got me, cleaned me back up, took me home, put me in bed, and then you walked in with the best books in the whole world. You gave me the book of Alcoholics Anonymous. You gave me the 12 Traditions and 12 Steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. And you said, please, just read these. I can't pay for Harvard education for you. But if you do this, that's Harvard. And you were right. Since that day, June 10th, 1979, I haven't done a drug or done any drinking since. I've read those books I don't know how many times. And my family that I grew up in since then has lived those steps, those traditions. We became a family again. So thanks. But you kept on writing, and you kept on public speaking. And I really wish I would have been with you and Barb. When you guys were at the National Women's Conference, and Betty Ford was in the room next to y'all, and you were laughing because you and Barb had eaten the jelly beans and had such bad gas that you were farting everywhere, and the Secret Service guards outside were laughing at y'all. And I mean, those times with you were so much fun. We still didn't know what bipolar was. We didn't know what manic depression was. We just knew that Mom had her ups and her downs. So grateful that it's mostly up. Because baby, when you get down, you suck. But I'm sorry. I need to apologize. Because I don't want to lose you. And to watch you start to drift away is probably the hardest. Because you are brilliant. You are smart. And we joke, thank God you are, because dementia's taken a lot of you, and there's so much to take that even though it's taken what it's taken already, it's not that much. Because you're still brilliant. I'm sorry you have to fight for the words. I'm sorry you have to remember what it is, and you get so mad. And that makes me pull away. Because it makes me mad too that I have to see you swim for the words. But the one thing you've taught me the most in this whole world is it's the journey. And I'm sorry, this one sucks. Because we both love that show, Driving Miss Daisy. And that one part of that scene where he's looking in the rearview mirror at Miss Daisy and it says, I really wish it had been us that had died. And I know you wished it had been you that had gone first, not Dad. But Dad's the coward, not you. You're the tough one. So God said you get to stick around. And to have you, the last 14 years that you've been here, since Dad has died, it's been awesome. You got to be with me and Tanya when we took Quinn down and back between Salt Lake with his cancer. You were there with me when I had my heart attack, and you laughed. You made a joke about it, because honestly, who thought that Joe would be the one that'd have a heart attack, not the other two wingnuts in the family? But probably the best gift that you gave me was that you taught me how to date. As you and Dad would say, my job is to find the girl whose holes in her head will fit the rocks in mine. And the better fit I get, the better off I am. And Tanya, you're right. She was the right one. When you and Dad, Mary and Jerry said, quit dating the sparkly birds and go for Tanya. And I did. But probably the best gift he gave me was the last conversation we had about a year ago. And he asked me, he says, like, well, how old is Tanya now? And I told you. He said, you know, the best gift that Dad ever gave me, what you said about yourself, was that your dad just let you go through menopause and not fight with you. And he said, Joe, just let Tanya go through it. Be with her, hold her, console her. And that's what I've been doing. And I'm real grateful that you were willing to answer the phone when I call. That you're willing to let me listen, that you're willing to let me talk and just get it out. You don't give me advice. You don't tell me what to do. And even when I ask you, you usually don't say anything. You just say, you know, sounds great. But that time you did say, just hold her, just be with her. So I will quit trying to pull away. And I will be with you. It won't be easy. Because I don't know why it's me and you. Except that it's always been that way. For some reason, you are one of the bookends of my life. And thank you.